Okay, let me first introduce the developers. It's actually developed by two very reputable developers in Singapore, CDL and MCL. This is also our very first JV together. Both developers have a proven track record for more than 50 years, and our track records are not only in Singapore, we also develop property across other nations. So the most recent and notable one from CDL are Irwell Hill Residences and Canning Hill Piers. And of course, from MCL, we have Margaretville and Leeton Green. All right. Piccadilly Grand. I'm not sure how many of you have heard of this, but just a little bit of fun fact to share with everyone. Back in the mid-1800s, Farrer Park area was actually an area where the British used to host horse racing. And in those days, only the affluent Englishmen are allowed to watch the horse gallop. So it made sense for the British to have homes at that area because it's near to the city, and it's also near the entertainment area where they can watch the horse gallop. Yeah, so they named the streets after beautiful towns in Farrer Park. They named the streets in Farrer Park after beautiful towns in England, like Gloucester Road, Cambridge Road, Oxford Road, Rochester Road, and much more. Yeah. So taking inspiration from the heritage of Farrer Park, we decided to name the development after another iconic district in London called Piccadilly Circus. If you've ever been there, the district actually serves as a hub of culture, tradition, and modernity. So like the London city namesake, Piccadilly Grand aspired to be the next transformative landmark at Farrer Park, maintaining the culture and heritage of Farrer Park, and at the same time encouraging rejuvenation towards its modernity. Yep. Piccadilly Grand will actually be a new city fringe integrated development because it's directly linked to Farrer Park MRT station, which is 2 stops to Dhoby Ghaut MRT interchange. It's also integrated with shops, F&B, and a childcare centre. We also design it with 3 levels of activities, with 5 curated lifestyle zones, and of course 3 clubhouses to suit all kinds of lifestyle. And being conveniently and strategically located at its location is just a walking distance to a wide range of amenities. And it's also just a short drive away to Singapore CBD and Orchard Road. Yep. Okay, so Piccadilly Galleria is actually the commercial component of this development. So just below Piccadilly Grand, which is the residential, you have about 1,500 square meters of commercial offerings, which includes F&B and shops, and of course a childcare centre as well. Yep. All right, some project information. I don't want to bore you with the details over here, but just to highlight to you guys, we're actually located at District 8, which is RCR, West of Core Central Region in Singapore. And we have about 23 stories in this project, and of course 3 blocks as well, and 407 units. Yep. A good range of unit mix available here. We have from 1 bedroom all the way to a 5 bedroom premium. Just to highlight to everyone, we actually have a 4 bedroom dual key as well. So because of the recent cooling measures that's introduced late last year, actually it gives the buyers more flexibility, and they can get to buy 1 unit without having to incur the additional ABSD as well. Yep. Okay, next. Project consultants, we have here the architect ADDP, landscape Tinderbox, our contractor ChinaCon, and interior designer 2nd edition. Yep. Okay, some brief selling point over here. Farrer Park MRT, if you look at the MRT map, right, it's actually just 2 stops away to Dhoby Ghaut, and 3 stops to Orchard Road, 4 stops to Raffles Place, and 5 stops to Telok Ayer and Bayfront, which is MBS. You can see how well connected these MRT station is. I mean, being a city fringe location, right? That's what it is. Yeah. Next. Okay. If you guys are familiar with that location, you will know that it's just like it's connected through an underpass to City Square Mall, which you have a range of amenities over there. You have your daily conveniences like FairPrice, your Food Republic. You even have a Don Don Donkey over there. And it's just, if that's not enough for you, it's just 2 MRT stops away to Plaza Singapore, which you have another good range of amenities over there. And SMU is also located at Plaza Singapore, at Dhoby Ghaut area. Yeah. And it's also just 5 minutes drive to Jalan Besar Sports Stadium. And that location, right, you actually have a good range of cafes, very like we call these artisanal cafes, where even you have pet cafes over there with a good range of options, and local food around that area. Too many good foods to be mentioned. Yeah. And it's just also 9 minutes drive away to Bugis Junction. To CBD, it's just 12 minutes drive. Personally, I live in that area. So actually on good days, right, 10 minutes, you will reach CBD. Yeah. Of course, school within 1 kilometer is a Farrer Park Primary School. We have some others as SJI, Hong Wen as well. Yeah, thanks. All right, I'll pass on the baton to Sin Yong. Yeah. Sin Yong, you understand?
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Xing Yong, project architect for Piccadilly. Some of you may have met me before. Okay, welcome. Okay, let's get started. It's my pleasure to share this exciting project with everyone. So for my presentation today, the format will be I will be sharing our inspiration and concept of this development. Not in too detail. That one will come later when the project is officially launched. So we will share what makes this project so special, right? So at the end of the sharing, I'm sure everyone will have something to take home with on how to market this project. Okay, as Jackie has mentioned, actually this whole area, including outside, 2 centuries ago, is a race course, very affluent area, and right across the street, race course road. Actually, this area is a low-rise, very historical, I would say, culture district. So personally, I think it's a fantastic location. Why? Because actually the best CBD views happens to overlook the low-rise area, right? And it happens to be on the southern side and eastern side, right? So with such a location, actually, as designers, we always ask ourselves, what is a suitable design for this site? What would a modern interpretation of Piccadilly be in such an area? So we started looking at surroundings, and not surprisingly, there were plenty of inspiration for us. So we started looking at old and new architecture, the materials, texture of the surrounding. There are a lot of brown hues, terracotta kind of a feel, and also a lot of patterns and texture that we felt is really rich, right? So we really love this mix of materials. So if you may imagine for a minute, yeah, what is the kind of identity that Piccadilly Grand can have? So basically, in our mind, this is what we ambition, a mix of all these colors, and then in contrast with our more modern, sleek facade. So this is what we wanted to implement for this development. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what are the attributes that the site already have, and how do we improve that? Right. These are some of the items that I will run through together with my design later. So the first one, direct link, F&B, retail, childcare design, right at the doorstep. The views and orientation, curated lifestyle and amenities. And of course, the last two will be by the ID and the landscape. Okay, the first one, actually it's pretty obvious. I think you all will know that in our development there is an existing MRT station exit. So this exit you can see from this picture, we are actually not demolishing it. I would say we are adopting into our development, right? So it will be sheltered under our development. So if you take the MRT and from the underground, when you exit the station, you will be fully sheltered, right? All the way to your home, and you will be surrounded by this very this decent size, I would say, a commercial cluster. Right. So the way we designed this is actually we wanted the residents, right, when they go home, when they exit the MRT, they can do some shopping or tapao at the F&B and retail, and even pick up the kids at the childcare, and then they directly go back to their tower, right? All this under sheltered and within a very short walking distance. Okay, so in plan, this is how it looks like, right? So this one is the MRT exit. So it's surrounded by this cluster of F&B shops. There are 14 shops here, huh? So and the red color arrows basically are the sheltered links to the surrounding. The middle one is to HDB. The right leads all the way to Farrer Park Primary and also HDB. Then on the left, if you look at the arrow, it actually passes by the three blue circles. Those are the lobbies to your individual tower, depending where you live. And of course, lastly, we have designed a grand lobby entrance that also leads to the clubhouse. We will share more details on that later. Okay, the next one will be on views and orientation. Okay, as I mentioned, not many sites have the opportunity to have to really orientate your building true north-south and still have a great view to CBD and surrounding, right? So this is one such development. Actually, the eastern and southeastern actually looks towards the Beach Road and even MBS area here. The southwestern, which is at this corner, actually you'll be looking at Orchard Central and Somerset direction. The north will be unblocked views, right? So these are some photos that we taken from the adjacent HDB. These are the northern views. Very, very nice views. And of course, the eastern and southern views are towards Beach Road, Concourse, and MBS area. You will get a glimpse of the sea, but that's very far away. Right? But basically, the whole city is here. And the southwestern, in this picture, this is Orchard Central, this is Singtel and Somerset. So these are also fantastic views, right? So this is our site plan. I will touch on just a general planning and concept. The landscape will go into details later. So a few points that I want to emphasize. Okay, number one, oriented true north-south. You look at the north point here. The buildings are all true north-south. Number two, the blocks are all staggered. You can see they are not blocking each other. They are staggered. The staggering allows these units to have a view to the city, right? So this is what we wanted to do. And thirdly, basically the large units are all along this side. You can see the stack 1, stack 2, and all these are 4 and 5 beders. Okay, so they get good unblocked views and landscape efficient manner to maximize views and also have a very good landscaping in between them. Yeah. Okay, so for the next part, curated lifestyle and amenities, I will touch on the main design concept that we have, which is the provision of 3 clubhouses. Actually, we started this idea because we felt that it's quite an urbanized site. So there will be, working professionals, there'll be rentals, there are very different groups of people with different functions. So we wanted different clubhouses to cater for public, semi-public, and private use. So we came up with this idea of having 3 clubhouses for different groups. So in diagrammatic wise, the clubhouse 1 happens at ground floor. It also acts as a arrival lounge, a grand lobby. Clubhouse 2 is a cluster of co-working, wellness, and dining. This will be at level 3 and 4. And lastly, the third clubhouse will be the main one. You have your function room, your gym, changing room, everything there. Okay, I'll go into details on these few functions. Okay, this is a view from Racecourse Road. So I will touch a bit on the podium before I go into the clubhouses. Okay, the first story I've mentioned, generally retail and childcare, right? And 1 grand lobby. Second and third are car park. And then third and fourth over here are actually the landscape area. So in this rendering, I think you can see the most outstanding portion is actually the middle, the box over here, right? So actually what we wanted to do is to showcase the clubhouse as a light box and a statement along Racecourse Road. So what do? We bring down the amenities and the architecture to the first story, right? So at the first story, there is a very nice arrival lounge, right? Actually, if you notice, right, for mixed development, grand arrival for residents are sometimes lacking because most of the ground floor are taken up by retail and all that. So we wanted to give this back to the residents, something that very grand for them to come home to. For the third and fourth story, this is our clubhouse 2. Basically, you have dining room, wellness, and also the co-working. So this is the second cluster. I would say it's semi-public, right? You can have functions here, private chef, and all that. So this is a second cluster. The main clubhouse, which is the largest one, we call the social clubhouse, will be your gym, your changing room, your 2 function room. These are right beside the pool, right? So this is the more active zone for the residents. So this concludes the idea of the the 3 separate clubhouses that we specifically designed to cater for the different groups of users, right, that we have for Piccadilly. So actually this is another view I just wanted to share from Gloucester Road. Okay, this is Gloucester Road on the right. So the retail actually spreads all the way to Gloucester Road. So along this whole junction and corner, right, actually in future we expect it to be very bustling and very lively because of all this retail, and there's a lot of footfall over here. Okay, I'm going to end my portion with 2 more slides, green features and smart home. Okay, green features, these provisions are something that the developer wants to implement in this project, right? Okay, the first one, energy efficient design, building oriented true north-south, and very good cross ventilation, and with very good shading and recessed balcony. The second one, environmental quality and protection, basically the thematic landscapes and water feature, and low VOC paints for internal. Energy efficient, aircon for all units, LED for light fittings, energy efficient lifts. So these will be units and common areas. Water efficient features for units and common areas. And for the other green features, we have the smart home system, EV charging lots, bicycle, pneumatic refuse chute, two chutes, recycling bins. I also forgot to mention that our substation and bin center are all underground. right? So you will not see any of them in this development. And the last slide will be on the smart home. Basically, smart home system with IP camera, aircon control, app for security, intercom, amenities booking, and lifestyle services. So all this happen in the app for all the facilities booking.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me this morning. Just for the next 5 minutes, I'm just gonna bring the meeting through the idea behind the landscape design. As you already know, the landscape for this project happens on the 3rd and 4th story on the car park E deck. What we have done was actually to design spaces divided into four spaces that is created by the building. So there's 2 garden zone and 2 zone of garden that's related to the pool. So which is what you see on the diagram on my right. So next slide. So this is the landscape plan itself. So on the landscape plan, the facilities and amenities is already in the list, so I wouldn't go through them one by one. But the 2 zone itself, you'll see that, okay, maybe let me just go through the first 2 zone, which is the garden, the botany zone and the tranquility zone. Then after that, I'll take this, the slides will then bring you through to the 2 other zone, which is pool related. Okay, next. So this botany zone or botanical zone and the tranquility zone is actually designed as an extension of the main grand drop-off as well as the clubhouse itself. So number 6 on the plan is actually the clubhouse and the drop-off itself. As you come up of the clubhouse, this is the landscape that you will experience. So what we like to do is the experience of arriving in this development, then extend out to the landscape. And you are greeted by an urban sanctuary of tropical garden, sound of waterfall from the spa pool and spa garden that we have created just off from the clubhouse itself. And also you are surrounded by colors of greeneries and flowering plants that you will see on this slide itself. So this view is actually taken from block 5, kind of like a mid-level view on block 5. So you're able to see that the lower floors enjoy the view to the spa pool below with ample greenery surrounding the units that's on the ground floor. And higher up, all these units actually will enjoy the pool view as well, those that is facing inwards towards this landscape area. Next slide. So next, we go into the other zone. We call this the vitality zone. This is where our main pool is going to be. It's a 30-meter lap or 35-meter lap pool, about 5 swimming lane. So what we have designed is to have pool deck on one side and infinity edge or overflowing infinity edge on the other side. The unit on the ground floor actually had a garden right in front of them that buffer them away from the pool, but if they all get all the unit that is facing this zone then enjoy the pool view into this area as well. these are the rendering that is being prepared for this area. As you can see, the pool itself is designed almost like any resort pool that you will see in any high-end resort. What we have done is also creating small little spaces in the landscape that the residents can chill out in. Landscape pavilion that is poolside, and also garden cabana that is within the garden space itself. The idea is that, with the experience of going through this pandemic, the home is no longer just living room, bedrooms, kitchen. It has become also workplace, meeting room, classroom, tuition center, and all that. So with multi-use and all that, obviously there'll be times when perhaps user will just like to come down to the garden, use some of this space, maybe to chill out, or even to just conduct a Zoom meeting or listen to a webinar like this one that we have. So it's something that I think would be quite popular, and if we have spaces that is kind of semi-private, that one can enjoy within the garden as well. Next. So the next zone further down is actually where the bigger clubhouse is. So this landscape is designed as an extension of this clubhouse facility. So we have two pools related to this clubhouse. One is the family pool, and also a children wading pool design as well. So behind there, multi-purpose court, also designed as the extension of the gym. So fitness classes, or even in a morning Tai Chi session and all that can happen here. Sorry. Yeah. So the other thing that we like to do for most of our design surrounding clubhouse is to actually design it as such that it is actually a garden extension of the clubhouse amenities as well. So these two views, the one on top is actually taken from just outside the gym itself, looking back towards the unit. So you can see that there's garden, and the pool is actually designed with an overflowing edge again. That makes it almost like a feature pool or a feature pond at night as well, when it's not used. Okay, next. I think that's what I have so far for the landscape. This one, maybe I pass it to Hilary, who will explain to you the exciting facility they have designed within the clubhouse itself. Hilary?
Okay, yeah, sure. Thanks, Victor. I'm Hilary from Second Edition. We are the project ID for this project. So for the dining room, basically it's a double volume in the sitting area. So I think it's grand, and you have a series of feature lights. And this dining room is with the private kitchen, so you can get a chef sessions and also a social gathering. So I think this room is really going to be a very exciting facility for these projects. So next, for within this cluster of clubhouse, there's a space that carved out for the co-working lounge. So there's a sitting area for minimum can sit 6 to 8 people, that you can have your co-working sessions within this space. So again, it's a high ceiling. So it's another exciting feature that we named that as a co-working lounge for this development. So lastly, before I go to the ID, actually this arrival lobby and the lounge is something we felt that personally I felt that's very, very unique. You come home to a lounge, and it's a lobby that leading to your own units. So it's a place that you can actually meet people for a short while. So this is something that is unique, and it's not just typical a lobby, just come drop buy and go home, and it's a place that for you to lounge. So this is really, really unique in our view that for this, and it's actually at the access point that leading to the clubhouse above. Okay, next. Okay, so come to the project interior design. So there is a typology of draw the words from heritage and urban. So we develop into a Be Beautiful and Be Bold for each category of the units. So we start with the kitchen. So for the kitchen will be the fittings is using a reputable brand, Hans Krohe and Frankie. For the kitchen appliances, again, it will be a reputable brand, Bosch. So all the fittings, which is what you see on the slides. Come to the kitchen design. Basically, for the differentiation of the unit ABC and the D&E, namely ABC will be 1, 2, 3 unit bedroom beds unit type. D&E will be 4 and the 5. And there is a series of the feature accents, texture, color that are being introduced to differentiate the two different types. Next. Yeah. So that will happen in kitchen as well in the bathroom. So for the bathroom ABC 1, 2, 3 units, the fitting will be in polished chrome finish, and the brand is Hans Krohe, reputable brands, and West, Velour and Bosch. For D&E 4 and 5 bedroom, they're going to have a special finish in the brushed black chrome, and the fitting is also specially selected to differentiate the ABC type. So this is a series of the attempt that as the ID finishes curation of a series of features, different accents to differentiate, and also this will diversify in this development. So actually this DNA have been running through from architecture, landscape, and ID. So you see a series of diversified of the different items to kind of differentiate the products. Yeah. Next. So likewise, it's also introduced to the bathroom. For the two series, Be Bold and Be Beautiful, the feature wall are different. So again, you will explore and discover different color accents. It's all linked back to the excitement that what you can get from this development. So next. So this is to continue showing you that the feature wall you will see in the bathrooms. Next. Okay. So come for the wardrobe. Again, for the different series of the color is introduced for the ABC unit as well as for the D&E. So next. So everything you need in the wardrobe is provided. So and for the master, they will introduce a getting ready unit, which is both applied to the master bedroom with a side dresser and with a mirror for makeups and for getting ready. So we call it getting ready units that being introduced for the master wardrobe. Next. So for the common wardrobe is also a well-equipped wardrobe with the drawer and the hanging. Likewise for both unit types. Next. Yeah, I think that's all for the ID. Yeah, thank you.
Managed to get all of the participants here excited for today. Yeah. So just a summary of what we've gone through today. The selling points of Piccadilly Grand, we actually listed out 10 points. Firstly, it's actually located in a prime city fringe location, located in the RCR region in Singapore. And of course, it's integrated with commercial components like retail, F&B, and a childcare centre. And also designed with a good range of thoughtful facilities with 3 clubhouses and 5 curated lifestyle zones. And also fitted with branded kitchen appliances, quality fittings, like a Bosch, Hans Krohe, and V&P. And not forgetting, it's also directly linked to Farrer Park MRT station, which is only 2 stops away to Dhoby Ghaut MRT interchange. It's also well connected to the Singapore city centre and just 18 minutes drive to Changi Airport and Jewel. and you have tons of amenities within reach. And also, last but not least, is also developed by two established developers in Singapore, which are CDL and MCL. All right. Okay.